Hey everybody, welcome back. And we just got home from our Walt Disney World trip for 2023, and we thought we would give you our review video for our trip. Now, we've taken lots of trips from Six Flags to SeaWorld, to Disney World and back to Busch Gardens, all of these things. We've done a lot of trips, but I wanted to do a review video on this particular trip because this particular trip was just completely massive while you sit there and watch my son dance in the background. We spent 11 days on Walt Disney World property. 10 out of 11 days we were in the parks. So as you can imagine, this is the eve of my surgery. So we needed to take a vacation from my vacation as soon as we got home. But we're going to cover everything from resort to parks to cast members to dining. So we're going to jump into this. I'm going to try to wrap this up pretty quickly. Number one is the resorts. We stayed at Pop Century Resort, the same resort that we stay at every single time we go. I went back in December and I stayed off property. And it only takes one time of staying off property to lose out and wasting your time to realize that staying off property is not the way to go. So we love Pop Century Resort just for the simple fact that it's a place to lay our head, take a shower, shave, get ready, rope drop on the bus or the Skyliner. It's just that simple. Our room location was perfect. We stayed in the 70s room, and we stayed on the far end like you were looking towards Art of Animation. So we were approximately about a block and a half away from the Skyliner. So on the days that we would need to go to Epcot or Hollywood Studios, we just simply had to jump out of our room, grab a couple of Pop-Tarts, and go wait in line to get on the Skyliner to go to Hollywood Studios or Epcot. It was extremely convenient for us, which is the reason why we selected to stay in the 70 section. We requested 70 sections downstairs from the moment we made our reservation, and it's probably something that we will do in the future when we go in 2024. I can't really think of anything negative to say about the resort. About the cast members and everything. Compared to last year, we got our room within the first hour that we were on property. Last September, we didn't get our room until nearly 5 p.m. This year was a little bit different. We got like I said, within an hour and a half, we had our room. Before we got ready to go to our dining reservations, we were already fully unpacked and everything was already laid out for our next day. And we were already dressed for dinner. And we still had an hour to 2 hours to burn. So obviously we go to Disney Springs. And then we catch a bus to the Contemporary for California Grill. This was a big change from last year. Last year we kind of had to wing it and try to hurry up and get there in time and stuff. So it was great. The resort was perfect. We love it there. We'll always be going back to Pop Century. One of my favorite resorts. Dining. This is going to take a while. It'll take a little bit. I'm not going to cover all the dining reservations we had because out of 11 days, we had a dining reservation every single day. Sometimes we had 2. So sitting here discussing each and every restaurant that we went to, I can make an entire video about that. Out of all of the dining reservations we had, 6 of them were character dinings, and all of them were different character dining experiences. So the 6 character dinings that we had, the very first one was Chef Mickey's. Then it was Tusker House, Garden Grill, Ohana's, what's that Hollywood and Vine, and there was one more. I can't remember. Anyway, we did 6 total. Out of all the character dinings that we did, Chef Mickey's was at the bottom, just for the simple fact that he got to meet the characters one time, and it was exceptionally loud in there. And by that time, we tried waiting, and they had their section. The way Chef Mickey's is laid out compared to last year, they had each section, and they would fill that section up. When they got done filling that section up, all the characters would come and go to every table in that section, and then they would go on to another section. They would spend probably about a good 25, 30 minutes in that section. But once they moved off to another section, unless they started seating people in the section that you're in, those characters are not going to come around to you again. You get one time. That's it. And for the price that you're paying, we paid $100 for breakfast to get to see the characters for 2 minutes apiece. It doesn't really seem like it's worth it for me. So 2024, it's very unlikely we'll be going back to Chef Mickey's. The best one is a tie between Tusker House and Garden Grill. Both of these were suggested by my travel agent, and both of them, boy, did they deliver. Asher got about 30 to 35 minutes of character interactions at Tusker House. He got about 20-minute interactions at Garden Grill. The food at Garden Grill was a lot better than the food at Tusker House, but the character interactions at Tusker House was better than Garden Grill. But that doesn't necessarily mean one is better than the other. Based on everything as a whole, they're both really, really solid character dinings because you have great character interactions and you have great food. It's very, very hard to find character interactions where you have good food that is also included in it. And those two are the two that really stood out to me. Hollywood and Vine is always good, but it wouldn't be on the level of like Tusker House or Garden Grill. Garden Grill is kind of like the hidden gem of character dining experiences. You know, you have to be there to experience it to kind of understand. We will definitely be going back to Tusker House and Garden Grill. And we always go back to Hollywood and Vine. I mean, come on, it's such a great place. And you get the VIP seating for Fantasmic too. If you got kids, it's a no-brainer. Okay. Let's talk about the parks. There is only one instance in which I have to have a negative complaint about the parks. Out of every single day that we were there, it only rained one day, which compared to last year was a big change. Last year, it rained every single day. We brought ponchos and had everything ready. Our final night, setting up to record Happily Ever After, and this torrential downpour of rain just kicks in, and they end up canceling Happily Ever After for the first time since its return. It got canceled. This is the first time I've actually seen them cancel a fireworks show. We were in our fireworks spot for about a good 2 hours before the shows even started. And then afterwards, after the rain, we were in the park until 11:30 until they finally decided to cancel the show. And by that time, the rain had stopped. It was just a little bit of lightning. The following night at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, the same kind of storm was coming in, and they proceeded to start the show early that night. And not a lot of people from the party was at the show. I don't know if it has anything to do with when they started the show, but they started it early that night, and it ended up starting to rain right as we were leaving. So the only complaint is that time management wise should have been a little bit better when it comes to not canceling a show, because a lot of people were still in the park at 11:30. I'm telling you, there was a lot of people waiting for the show, and then to just outright cancel it. I understand there's a lot of different things that you have to consider when it comes to weather and lightning and fireworks and fire and all this stuff. There's a lot of things you have to consider. So that's why it's really not like, it's the only thing that I can think of to complain about. That's it. The only thing I can think of. Everything else inside the parks was perfect. You know, cast member interactions to characters to everything. I mean, everything was good. There's nothing negative to really say about it. Let's look at everything overall. Everything. There was a little mishap with the transportation to and from the resort, so we're not going to really get into that. I'm just telling you, just to sum it up, I won't be using Mears Express again. We'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to sit here and come in here and bash a company. That's not what we're about. I'm just going to sit here and say that based on my experience, I will not be using them again. So, everything overall, start to finish, in Disney World for 11 and a half days, I give it a 9 out of 10. A lot better trip than it was last year. We had such a great time, and we had an even better of a time because Asher was turning 4 years old, so he's a little bit more mature. He's a lot more interactive, so he was able to ride more. He was able to ride Test Track, Rise of the Resistance, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. He was able to ride these rides, and he was actually able to have more fun this year than he did last year. And because he was having fun, I was having fun. So it's kind of like you're working together thing. His favorite restaurant, he said, was Be Our Guest. He enjoyed eating in the Beast Castle. I always enjoy Be Our Guest. It's always an easy dining reservation to get, even if you're staying off property. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Review video, 9 out of 10. That's going to do it. We got a lot of stuff coming up in the future. I've taken the liberty of preloading videos for the next couple of weeks. Because my surgery at the time of this video comes out, I will be in surgery at the moment. And so I don't know how things are going to play out and what I'm going to feel like doing over the next couple of weeks. So I went ahead and edited videos for 2 weeks and going ahead and loaded them up for you guys. For those of you who are wondering, the Happily Ever After video is going to take a long time to put together because it's such a big show and I want to do a really, really good job. So we're going to take our time and get things lined up exactly the way we want them to be. I think Happily Ever After should probably be done sometime by Halloween or first couple of weeks of November. So we're looking at about 2.5 months of working on this video. So that's going to do it, man. If you guys enjoy the content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.